inspiration,
motivation, purpose,
fulfilled and abundant life.
Immortal mindset.
Those who face fear head-on discover their true inner strength. Fear is an invitation to personal growth. Accept the invitation and flourish.
In the locks of the dark night, when fear envelopes us like a veil, the eternal word resonates, bringing hope to the most faithful heart. In the rhythm of sighs, on the wings of dread, the eternal light shines, dissipating the shadow with its warmth. In the whirlwind of fear, where courage seems to disappear, a gentle voice echoes, bringing solace to strengthen you. Between the lines of the sacred book, a story unfolds, from fear to triumph, the journey of a soul ascending. In times of shadows that envelop the heart, when fear tries to steal our direction, let us remember the words the Eternal speaks to us, a song of love that soothes and says, "Child, here I am." On the trails of fear, where the heart trembles, a gentle voice emerges, relief and peace to the suffering mind. From the eternal sacred book springs a singular story, a divine poem that envelopes us, makes us transcend and love. On the margins of fear, where the soul retreats, there's a divine voice that calms and brings peace to those who suffer endlessly. In the sacred pages, we find a sublime poem that speaks of courage born when we face fear with strength and trust. In the locks of dread, where darkness seems to prevail, echoes a divine voice, a whisper of love that makes us reborn. In the sacred pages lies a transcendently beautiful poem, revealing the truth of fear, illuminating our path with gentle brightness. In the depths of the soul, where fear resides, there's a divine call that breaks through the darkest darkness. In the eternal pages of the Bible, we find the revealed story, a divine poem that in every verse brings us light and dawn. Amidst the abysses life brings us, fear throws us into a whirlwind of chaos and peace. But rise, O brave soul, with courageous courage, for the Lord is with you. His strength is your guard. He was a man of faith, facing the raging sea. Fear rose like waves, enveloping his free heart. But in the midst of darkness, a voice said to him, "Fear not, I am with you." And he who believed found divine power. Like the shepherd who protects his beloved flock, God holds our hands, guiding us with care and shelter. In the midst of fear's grip, he lights a light, awakening the hope that shines within us. In a distant time, in the land of affliction, a man named Job faced trial. In the ashes of his pain, fear surrounded him like a lament, but in the midst of darkness, he found purpose, solace. Behold, Moses, in the burning bush, heard the voice of the Eternal. "Fear not, my servant, I am with you, in every moment and forever." With a pulsating heart, he dared to believe that in the midst of fear, divine power would reveal itself. In the beginning of time, Adam and Eve encountered fear through sin, but God, in His grace, did not forsake them, came to them to support them. With His love, He clothed them in skins and gave them new hope, showing that even in fear, His presence never tires. In uncertain times, where fear envelopes us like a veil, God's unconditional love emerges, radiating a ray of heaven. For He says to us, "Fear not, beloved, I am with you at every moment." In His protective embrace, we find a constant refuge. From the heights of the heavens, He whispers tenderly, "Fear not, my child, I am your pure security. I am your refuge in storms, your shelter in moments of pain. In me, find the peace that transcends any dread." The faltering steps in the shadow of the cross found firmness in the promise that does not falter. For in the heart of fear, faith shines like a star, guiding the path of those who surrender to revelation. If fear surrounds us like dense fog, let us remember the promise that sustains and teaches us. Fear not, beloved, I am with you, says the Creator with a gentle voice in an ancient whisper. With his questions to the Creator, Job sought to understand why fear afflicted him, why suffering veered. And in divine words, Job was tended to the truth that fear is a passing shadow, a test of faith. At the Red Sea, amidst turbulent waters, the people of Israel saw fear dissipate before God's mighty hands. With courage, they pressed on, impelled by faith, knowing fear could not deter the journey God had laid. In the arid desert, the people of Israel walked in fear, but God, in his mercy, showed himself as a protective guide. With a pillar of cloud by day and fire by night, he taught them fear cannot quench his guiding light. From the clutches of fear, heroes of faith and courage emerge. Joshua toppled walls, David fought the savage giant. In adversity, I found strength I never knew I possessed, for fear dissolves before those who trust and will not give up hope. In the verses of scriptures, we find the power of faith, a radiant flame fear shall never conquer. For when we surrender our anguish and complaints, God envelopes us in his love, removing all veils. Fear is the storm seeking to sweep us away, but faith is the anchor that holds us steadfast at sea. In ancient verses, we find the truth that sets us free. Courage springs from meeting with the certain hope. In the unknown, we find strengths we didn't know we had. For it is in weakness that divine power begins to emerge. Like an eagle flying unafraid in strong winds, so when we trust in the one who is our north. For even amidst the unknown and adversity, infinite love walks by our side, sustaining. He guides us with tender hands, despite the persistent fear, and in transcendent humanity, his grace manifests and persists. And when David slung the giant that terrified him, he did not retreat, but advanced with the confidence in his heart. With a stone and a sling, he showed the world that fear cannot subdue those who believe and surrender deeply. When the disciples sailed through the storm, fear assailed them, but Jesus brought them peace. With a word, he calmed the waves and dissipated fear, teaching them his presence is the balm that secretly embraces us. In the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus felt fear in his being, but in his surrender, he found strength and victory to bloom. At Calvary, he conquered fear, opening the heavens with redemption, demonstrating that perfect love is the answer to every affliction. Though fear may scream in despair, trust in the Lord, for he is your true shield. In his steadfast hands lies dominion over time and space, and in him, all fear surrenders before his grace and embrace. So fear not, O weary and troubled soul, for the Creator walks beside you in every stroll. He is the light that dispels like darkness, the solace in moments of distress, and when we trust in him, fear holds no sway over us, my love. Fear is but a chapter in the story of faith, an opportunity to leap into the arms of what's true. For in the span of a moment, fear turns to courage when we lay our anxieties in his hands of love and advantage. Fear is not the end but an invitation to trust, to believe there's a divine purpose, a path to tread. For in the heart of one who embraces hope, fear turns into courage and life into a new dance. From the belly of the whale, Jonah cried out to the Lord, and in his distress, found the love and mercy of the Creator. Realizing fear is not the end but the beginning of transformation, he surrendered, learning to live in the fullness of forgiveness. Fear, however intense, is not our final destination, for God calls us beyond the borders of fear, toward the divine. In his word, we find promises of courage and protection, strengthened by faith, we advance with boldness and dedication. Fear is not the end, but an invitation for faith to stand firm. It's in weakness that divine strength begins to manifest. In sacred verses, we find the promise of eternal love that envelopes, liberates, and guides us with power and tender care. Therefore, do not cower, troubled heart. Believe in the divine power dwelling in the infinite. Rise above fear. Explore the endless horizons. For in every challenge, you find the strength that comes from me. Let this message resonate in your mind and heart. Let fear not define your life or steal your passion. For amid the unknown, perfect love casts out fear, and true freedom is found in God, our Lord. There is no shadow he cannot dispel, nor storm he cannot calm. For the God who created us with love and precision watches over us in every step, in fear and in pain. In every sacred verse, we find the light, a song echoing within, nourishing the soul and the cross. Fear may be the prelude for faith to flourish, to discover that true peace is attainable. Thus, the message is clear and powerful. Fear is not an end but a grand opportunity. It's in overcoming fear that we find our true essence and realize we are made for courage, for resilience. So fear not, O restless and troubled soul, for God is with you, and his presence knows no bounds. He is the steadfast rock that sustains us amidst fear, and in his hands we find refuge and love without secrecy. In this message, a chant of confidence and faith, we plead to God to remove fear and bring us his peace once and for all. And when you gaze upon the sky and feel the gentle breeze, you will know that fear holds no power, for God is our salvation, forever and always. May this profound and captivating message inspire your life. May divine poetry touch your wounded soul, for fear can be overcome when we find strength in God and surrender to him, trusting in his guiding love. So, do not let fear define or paralyze you. Trust in the Creator, whose wisdom is infinite and astounding. In his embrace, find the peace that transcends understanding and walk with courage, for fear no longer holds sway. May this poetic and beautiful message reach the core of your being, inspiring you to trust in the one who is able to conquer. For fear is overcome by faith, hope, and love, and in God we find true freedom and our greatest worth. Therefore, fear not, O fragile and beloved soul. Trust in the God who conquered death and rose again. For he is the guardian of dreams, the beacon in the dark of night, and in the embrace of his love, fear transforms into joy, into light. May this powerful and profound message inspire your journey, filling your heart with unwavering courage and peace. May divine poetry dwell in every fiber of your being, and may fear surrender before the greater love that will never fade. So, fear not, O restless and weary soul, for there is a loving God who walks with you on every path. He is the fortress, the safe haven in times of anguish and pain, and when we trust in him, fear no longer has power over us, only love. May this profound and captivating message inspire your life. May divine poetry touch your wounded soul. For in the heart of fear lies the strength of divine love, and when we surrender to him, fear turns into faith, into destiny. May this powerful and captivating message reach the core of your existence, inspiring you to face fear with faith and perseverance. For fear can be overcome when we trust in the eternal, and we discover that in his love, we find peace and eternal renewal. So, fear not, O troubled and frightened heart. Trust in the God who reigns over the universe and will never be defeated. He is the solid rock where we find shelter and solace, and in his peace, fear dissipates, revealing a new foundation. May this poetic and beautiful message resonate in your existence, inspiring you to confront fear with faith and resilience. For in the heart that trusts in the Most High, fear becomes futile, and we find true freedom in God, our eternal stronghold and sustenance.